Hello shooters, thanks for watching. Ty Iron Goes to School here, and today's topic is the best way to shoot an AR handgun, or any kind of quote-unquote handgun that is like this, that has a an arm brace or a wrist brace or something like that. There's really three ways to do this. One of them is to hold it like a handgun, which doesn't work out very well because there's so much going on here. When you come up and it's not as fast as a regular handgun that you hold in two hands because of the weight and the different balance and blah blah blah, the length of it. So you can also just bring it up to your cheek and get a cheek weld there, because now you've got 3 points of contact. This way, you've got your 2 points of contact with your two hands, but your two hands are separate. One of them is kind of bent, one of them's kind of straight. For me, it doesn't work out so well. Another way is to get a cheek weld here. Now you've got 3 points of contact. You've got your cheek and you've got your two hands. That tremendously aids in getting quick, accurate shots, and also pretty controlled shots too. A third way is to use a sling. Back in the, I guess it was the 80s or something, when the SAS, they did a takedown of an embassy in London, and they were using MP5s. That's when MP5s became all the rage. And one thing the SAS was doing was they had their MP5s, but they're using their stock. I mean, their sling as a stock. It's a 2-point sling, but I rigged it up as a 1-point sling. It just attaches to 1 point on my handgun there. And now when you bring this up to your cheek, and instead of pulling back like you would if this was in your shoulder, I'm actually pushing forward against the sling. Let me do that from this direction here. I'm pushing forward against the sling. So now I've got this against my cheek, and I've got this against, I've got pressure going forward on my neck for the sling. Some of you guys may want to do the, around this thing here. Now even I don't have it in my shoulder. I've got the cheek weld there, and I'm pushing forward the sling. This makes a fantastically, if that's a word, a fantastically stable platform. Really, really, really stable. So what I did is I did just single headshots at 7 yards on a 3x5 card, using just the the handgun method here. And then I did headshots at 7 yards on a 3x5 card using the cheek weld there. Then I did headshots with the sling. That's just to get your first shot on target, just to see how that works, which is fastest to get the first shot on target. Because sometimes the first shot on target is the most important shot on target. But then I also wanted to check the controllability of shot to shot. So for this, I did the 10 rounds in a pie plate, in a 10 rounds in a paper plate at 5 yards. And I did the exact same thing. 10 rounds where I'm holding like a handgun, 10 rounds where I've got it against my cheek, and then I did 10 rounds with it against my cheek and pushing out. It's important that you push out against that sling. Let's go to that right now. Shooting it like a handgun, actually, there's a lot of oscillation. The rear goes down, the muzzle goes up quite a bit more, because my hands are really the fulcrum. I got the barrel sticking out the front, I got this stock coming back to the rear. Putting it up in the cheek is quite a bit better, but there's still some oscillation that goes on that you don't recognize on just the single shots. We'll see the oscillation more when we go to some multiple shots. But okay, shooters, at 3x5 card at 7 yards, two hands only. On average, you're getting a second and a half. I got a little bit faster here, but a little bit slower there. On average, a second and a half. Then when you throw the cheek in there with it, you're down to just over a second. 1.13 on the average, so quite a bit faster to use the cheek. And then you use the sling in conjunction with the cheek, and it gets even faster. 1 second on average. headshot at 3x5 on a 3x5 card, 7 yards. Watch how the gun moves up and down. That's what's taking so long, is getting back on target. You can see it better in the slow-mo. The front end comes up and the back end goes down because my hands are right in the center of the gun basically, and that's the fulcrum. So it's the front's coming up, the back's going down, got to find the target again. It's pretty slow. Then attach it to the cheek. There's a lot less oscillation going on. There's still some. The front end's still coming up a little bit, and the stock's still coming down a little bit, but a heck of a lot less than when just with the hands. Then you add the sling in here, and it is just rock solid. Watch here on the slow-mo. Very, very, very little movement. And a really, really fast time. Here is the results of 10 rounds at 5 yards into a paper plate. All rounds must land within the paper plate. Hands only, 4.66. Cheek weld, 3.01. Sling, 2.25. Now, I shoulder a carbine. I'm right around 2.20, so I don't give up anything at all just by using the sling, pushing out against the sling. It works very effective. So shooters, for me the choice is clear. When it comes time for me to employ my AR handgun, I'm going to throw this thing around my neck and go to work because it is so much more controllable. It's almost... you don't give up anything if you put it in your shoulder and pull it back in. You put this in your cheek and you push out, and you've got controllability like there's no tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Appreciate all the shares, likes, and subscribes. As always, ensure that your training and your practice is preparing you for the real world, your real world, and not for the fantasy land of the shooting range. And have a nice day.